Hello and Merry Christmas. So today we're going to be giving the fishies the Christmas dinner because they've been looking forward to it for quite a bit. So we've got prawns, Yorkshire puddings and cabbage and a bit of bread. I've not gone for anything too heavy this year. This prawns should be a nice starter. The ones outside won't be getting everything because it's not quite as warm as this tank in here, but yeah, they'll enjoy it anyway. So let's start off with some nice prawns. It's my finger. Yeah, they do like the prawns, and mussels as well is another good one that they really like. But I think prawns is a bit more fitting for Christmas dinner. The only trouble is with them though is that prawns sink, so it's a bit difficult when you're recording them because it makes all the fish go down to the bottom. This guy here, this one, is about 30-year-old. It's one of my oldest fish, and this one as well. And then this little guy is about 4, I think. About 4-year-old. So a lot of variations in age. They've been really good this year, these fish. They've done great, and I really can't complain about them at all. They've had a great year. But whereas last year I had a lot of trouble when they spawned and all that. They really made a mess at pond, and they caused themselves a lot of trouble when they went through spawning last year. But this year they've been great. I didn't even really notice that they spawned in the pond at all this year, which, whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know, because obviously it is nice being a heated pond that they get rid of all their eggs and stuff like that, but it doesn't always happen, and I don't know if it's any detriment really, but sometimes it can be an issue. But these are all generally older fish in here. All the babies are in the other tank, so let's go and have a look at the babies and feed some of them. Give them a little bit more. There we go. Give them a little bit more. Still got plenty left. Let's go and have a look at these babies. So these ones are 18 months old. So we haven't had any fry this year. These are last year's fry, and they're doing great. I wanted them to be not in this tank anymore. You'll see the tank shortly that's supposed to be in. But it just didn't happen. I have not had the time to sort everything out this year, but it's going to have to happen next year, or they literally won't be able to move in this tank. But the problem I have with this tank is that fish absolutely love it. So fish are always incredibly happy in this tank. They always do incredibly well, and it seems a shame to upset the balance. But there are some really nice big fish in there, and again, the issue with the prawns is it makes them all go down to the bottom. Let's see. I'll look underneath the net. Yeah, it's bubbling too much. Move to a wide angle. There you go. One big one there. Some lovely big fish. Obviously these are all the cuttlebug fry, but 18 month old. Something like that. I think I got them about June time, so they'll have spawned in around that time. Let's put them some more prawns in. These prawns might be a little bit big for some of them, but definitely most of them should be able to eat them. Right, let's go and give the outside one some. So this is the temporary tank that's ended up being a multi-year sort of thing. As it goes, I should only ever build temporary tanks because they end up staying a lot longer than you want them to. There we go. Let's see if I can put this down just there. But they're doing quite well in this. In fact, this year I'm sure is the mildest Christmas we've ever had. Because this tank's at 15 degrees at the minute, so I'm not too bothered about feeding them a few prawns, but I'm not going to put Yorkshire puddings in, I don't think. just because they've already eaten the prawns, and Yorkshire puddings will not do the water any good in that. But the so these guys are at 15 degrees, and I'm pretty sure last year I kept them at 15 degrees as well, but I was really wanting to turn it down. But the heater, I've barely seen it running this year, keeping these at 15 degrees. So what I tend to do with temperature, there we go, again, it's some nice fish in there. What I tend to do with the temperature, obviously we're heated by the heat pump here, is when the heater's running too often, so if it's like staying on for an hour or more at a time, I will lower the temperature and sort of follow it. But I generally won't go lower than 13 degrees, just because I don't want to drop below the 13 degree mark. And it seems to, no matter how cold it gets, 13 degrees seems like a good temperature where it stays at that without costing too much money to run. But 15 degrees can use a little bit of electric when it gets frosty. There we go, we've definitely got rid of the fish. Right, let's move on to the next. In fact, let's show you the tank these are supposed to be in and all the other ones. The tank system that the other fish are supposed to be in, and then we'll get back to feeding them Yorkshire puddings. So this tank is still here a year later. It's a bit disappointing to me really that I haven't got around to finishing it. It's still on the wooden sleepers, I haven't done anything with it. The reason why I haven't done anything with it really is because I didn't want to do it half-heartedly. I wanted it to be quite set up properly, and I just haven't had the time to really work on it. As with the tank round the back where, you know, the temporary setup ends up being incredibly permanent, I didn't want to temporarily set this up and it ends up being like that forever, because that's also what sort of happened with the last building that we're here. We sort of just rushed to get it together, and then it kind of ended up being like that until we ended up taking it down. So I've sort of left it a little bit until I've got like a couple of weeks to work on it and get it all perfect, really nice. But it definitely should be a project for very shortly. I want it done by spring, because if it isn't, the fish are going to be too big to stop in that tank at the back of the fish house. So yeah, this needs to get done. So I've got a lot of projects on for the new year, and a lot of things I really want to get done with these fishes. So honestly, I've pretty much neglected the jobs that I wanted to do for the past year. I've just had too much on, and it hasn't got done. We did renovate this building a bit. It's had new floor, it had all new stuff, but I really wanted to do this side of the building. As you can see, like, there's metal work in the corners here that is blowing out. There you can see it really well there. There's a lot of sort of, when you look up closely at things, you know, it's 13 years old this year, this pond, and it's not doing bad to say the building's had a huge amount of humidity in it for 13 years. And I've never painted at this side for 13 years. Not because I'm particularly lazy, I am, but because I don't want any of the paint going in the pond. So when I do paint this, hopefully next year, in 2026, I'm going to be removing all the fish. All the fish are going to have to come out, so I do not want stuff in the water. But yeah, there's a lot of sort of little snagging jobs that I need to clean up, and things I want to change with the pipework I don't like. I've never liked this going over the side, that's something I want to change. Yeah, I wanted to do it in 2025, but it did not happen. But hopefully 2026 is the year. So, let's give them some Yorkshire puddings. See if it cheers them up. Come on, look at fishy. They do like the naturals. Yeah, they like the Yorkshire puddings. Oranges is one I usually like to give them as well, but I forgot to get some this year for some reason. It literally just occurred to me, but there we go. Yeah. So this pond as well is at 20 degrees, which is one of the warmest it's been for this time of year. So the pond is not heated, the building is. So the building indoor temperature is about 24, 25 degrees in here. And it's that keeps this pond warm. But being at 20 degrees still is definitely the warmest this pond's ever been for this time of year. Which obviously also is a reason why that tank's staying at 15 degrees quite comfortably. There we go. Right, let's give the babies some. Here we are with the babies. Keep calling them babies, but they're not really. Look at the size of that guy. Yeah, he's definitely one of the greediest fish in this pond. As you could tell, he's just taken down an entire Yorkshire pudding. There he came back. Yeah, not too bothered. They're just full of prawns, aren't they? And they're wondering what I'm filming as well. I'll move back, see if we can see him. Yeah, we can see him quite well from here. Yeah, these don't get Yorkshire puddings as often as the main pond does, so they're probably... I'm not sure if this is the first time they've seen Yorkshire puddings. I think I may have done it for Christmas last year, so it's obviously been a year since they've seen Yorkshire puddings. Yeah, they got gist in it. Right, let's have a look, see what more Yorkshire puddings we've got. I might put another one in here and more in the main pond. Yeah, I've got 3 left, so 2 in here. They can eat them. And then this one can go back in the fry tank. But yeah, I did quite nice Yorkshire puddings this year. I'm quite pleased with myself. Not bad at all. And the last one for these guys. Yeah, it's nice that they're not fighting over and they're just pecking at it. So there we go, that's that part of Christmas dinner done. So what I'm going to do now is just put this cabbage in. I'm going to put a couple of leaves in for the little baby fish, and then I'm going to put the rest in it in here, and they can just peck at it all afternoon. I've got some bread to give them, but I might actually save that for a little bit later on. So there we go. Let's put this cabbage in. Yeah, I definitely should have got these guys some oranges, really. Put some cabbage in like that. Just gives them a little bit of greens to peck at. And we'll see how they get on with it the next hour or so. Yeah, a bit slow on them Yorkshire puddings. There's a lot to eat in one go. Plus I'm disturbing and lifting cover up and talking. Right, leave them to it. Right then, these guys. Let's have a look. Nice tightly packed cabbage, but that'll give them something to do. So they'll peck at that for quite some time now. Check over here. So there we go. If you like this video, then please like it. If you want to see more videos like this and fishy related videos, and hopefully lots of videos on pond renovations next year. I've got lots of things planned. It's whether I get round to them or not, because I'm terrible at managing my time. So there we go. I hope you liked it. A Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and I shall see you next year. Thank you for watching. I'm just watching them on camera system, and they're all chasing the cabbage about now, doing a little bit after dinner grazing. It's something they do like to do, so when you put in if you normally put in pellets, they will actually start grazing on the things around the edges of the pond, all the green and algae. And it's quite interesting, but you put in a cabbage and they'll graze on that instead. And obviously, because I'm watching them on camera system, I'm not disturbing them at all. If I went in now, they'd all start wanting some more Yorkshire puddings, which is why I've got this camera that watches them all the time, because it's interesting to see what they get up to.